Okay, everybody, I am gonna kind of walk through how to set up a Calendly account, and Calendly is going to be a calendar link that we are sharing with clients to um, kind of help facilitate ways for us to hold them accountable in terms of filling out their paperwork and whatnot. This has been working great in California for the past 6 months, and so we're ready to kind of get everybody started with it in Chicago. Calendly is free. You get one calendar for free. If you want more calendars, you pay $10 a month, but you should be able to get all uh, the attributes you need and all the bells and whistles that you need with that one free account. And I'm just going to walk you through that real quick. You're going to set this up through your Google account. So I am going to do this. So you get a 14-day pro trial where you can add a bunch of different um, calendars, but at the end of 14 days, it cuts it down to one. So I'm going to show you how to delete everything and just do one calendar. So at the end of 14 days, it's still free and it doesn't really change anything. So I set up a email address, uh, Calendly test drive at gmail.com. And so you're going to put in your Google there and then sign in with your Google. Um, and it's going to let you choose an account that you're going to link it to. You want it to manage your calendars, so you allow that. And so here we go. Welcome to Calendly. Choose your Calendly link. So this is calendly.com and then /Calendly test drive. You can change that and keep it the same. It's going to have, I guess, what would essentially be your name in there. Your time zone would be Central for Chicago. Mine's Pacific out here. So notice they give you 3 calendars. So the first thing to do is they have a quick start guide, which is fine, but I'm going to skip that for now. And I'm going to go in and delete these calendars and just have the one so that when you do lose the 14-day pro, you aren't losing any calendars that you so just do that, and then I'm going to make a new one and just do one. For now, we want a 1-to-1 calendar, so I'm going to hit create. And we're going to say this is Cage and Aquarium clients. And you can put whatever you want, but this will be specifically for Cage. You probably, I guess you could share this link in other avenues, but so you could even just name it My Schedule if you only don't want to do one. It asks you to add a location. We're going to kind of leave this blank for now. This can be something we can come back to, but I do want people to know that they don't have to meet at the studio anymore. You can actually set up a question where you can have them leave their phone number or a location that they would like to meet at, and I think that that's kind of what we'll do for now. But we're looking at display location while booking. We're just going to leave that blank. You can put a description in here. I mean, again, this can be autonomous and up to you, but I'm going to put final meeting for your event. I'm a slow typer, so bear with me. It gives you an event link. You can actually change that, but just keep it the same. You can put whatever color you want. Feeling kind of pinky today, so let's go pink. Hit next. This meeting is you're probably going to want to put 90 minutes on this meeting. And the reason is they don't have to go 90 minutes, but you have the ability to go a little bit later. And I'm also going to show you how to build some travel buffers into this as well. So you could do 60 if you really feel like, but 90 minutes is probably safer, and this is my recommendation. So we're going to say 90 minutes. Events can schedule over 60 rolling days. That's pretty fair, so I would just leave that the way it is. Event time zone, again, mine says Pacific. Yours would say Central, but the cool thing about this is if I click your Calendly link, it does everything correctly. And then here's the availability. Now, the thing with the availability here is that basically you have to look at this as a second layer to your Google calendars, and I'm going to show you how to link those up in just a second. But for now, you really just want to give a big time frame of when you think you would be available to do final meetings with Cajun Aquarium clients. So maybe On Mondays, we're going to say, I'm not really available during the day. I'm really from about 3 to 8. And you do want to put some nighttime availability in this. Apply to August 20 only. I'm actually just going to apply it to all Mondays. And that may not be the case for 3 Mondays from now. But if I keep my Google calendars accurate, it'll block off the time based on the Google calendar. So this is just more like a kind of a catch-all type thing. And so maybe on Tuesdays I am unavailable completely, and I want to apply that to all Tuesdays. On Wednesdays I am available from noon to, we'll say, 7. And I'm going to apply that to all Wednesdays. Thursdays I'm unavailable. And, apply to all Thursdays. And then Fridays I'm available 9 to 5. And I'm going to apply to all Fridays. You're not really going to ever apply this to a specific day, because the idea is you're only going to do this one time, and then you're going to do everything else from your Google calendars, which you would normally do anyway. So that's here. One of my favorite features is in the Advanced tab. You're going to go in here. You can show meetings in increments of 30 minutes. I actually do 15. It gives some people a few more options on certain days. Max events per day. You can set this, whatever you want. I just leave it blank. And then minimal scheduling notice. So this says 4 hours. For me, I did 24 hours, and actually I think I did 36 hours. So maybe not make it too far, but anywhere from 24 to 48 hours means that clients can't set up an appointment that day and that you're just expected to be at. So you have a little notice. So this is your scheduling notice. 24, 36, or 48 hours you can pick. The event buffers is probably the strongest feature of Calendly. It basically means that if you are planning to drive somewhere to meet somebody, you can give yourself a little window for that driving on both sides of the meeting. So I would put a 30-minute buffer before the event and a 30-minute buffer after the event. And it is Chicago. Sometimes it takes a little while to get places. So if you want to be even safer, you could put a 45-minute buffer on there. Don't make anything secret and hit next. And so now we have an event that's ready to accept meetings. You can go into the invitee questions, and you want them to put their name, so you leave that as in their email address. So these things they have to put, but you can add a new question. So you could say, would you like to meet in person or by phone? This can be a required question, one line. Actually, you could probably, yeah, you can just leave it. You could probably do a multiple choice or whatever, but I'm going to apply that. It is required. And then here you can put, please put best number to reach you or where you would like to meet. Make this multiple lines so that they can, put a longer address if needed. And you're going to be able to notice problems. Like, let's say you live in Pilsen and somebody wants to meet in Lincoln Square. That's probably not a 30-minute drive every time. And so you might just be on top of that with your own calendars. You'll get used to this. You get all this information emailed to you, and so it's really easy to just confirm it. And that is part of the process that we'll be going over in orientation. So this will all make sense. This is just specifically how to set up a Calendly account, and you want to make it required so that they definitely have to leave their phone number or tell you a place that they're comfortable meeting. And then you can always meet at the studio too. You could set up another question in here that said, would you like to meet at the Cage and Aquarium studio? We are trying to get a little bit away from that, because the studio is not the access to the studio is different than it used to be. So you can put that in here, but definitely put these two. I would say put the studio on if you really, really want to meet there. or just you could even hit them back when they put an option in here and say, hey, we can also meet at the studio, however you want to do it. So hit save and close. So we have Cajun Aquarium clients. It's a 90-minute event, 60 rolling days. I'm not really sure what that means, so I just leave it. But I think the idea is that somebody can't schedule something 61 days from now. And then the invitee questions. So now you're looking at name, email, plus 2 questions. Notifications and cancellation policy. This is another important thing. You definitely want, let's see, an invitee will receive a reminder email before a scheduled event. I mean, feel free to turn that on. Again, I'm hoping that this is a feature that's available on the free. There's really no way for me. I did look it up and it said it was, but there was no way for me to test it out. Calendar invitations. So an event will be created in your calendar and your invitee will be added as an attendee. Requires Google. Office 365 and Outlook.com. Please use Google. Please use Google Calendars. If you are using these, let's talk. Hit me up. I don't want to totally change everything, but Google works really, really well with Calendly. They play very nice together, and it's kind of a game changer for sure. You may want to do text reminders. They can leave their phone number, but I think email is perfectly fine. Save and close that. Confirmation page. So on confirmation, I haven't gone in to this, so you can probably just leave that. And then there's no payments to collect. You guys are really awesome, but I doubt clients will want to pay to meet you. They might though. And that's how you set it up. And then when you go to your dashboard, you should have one event style. And when you click on it, you can just grab the URL. And then this is kind of like where the rubber meets the road, because basically, so this is the test account that I set up so that we could walk through this. If I go in here and compose an email, and I say, I'm going to send this to tyler@com, subject, Calendly test, is this working? And you pop the link in there, and that'll be a way that that we can test it out together. So again, that's how you set up a Calendly account. There's some other bells and whistles, and you may ultimately want to do the premium account where you can do more than one calendar. But for Cage stuff, we're requiring everybody to have a Calendly account, to link it with their Google. Oh, I do need to do one more thing. I'm going to send this and go back into Calendly, and you do need to go into your, this is like the most important thing. I can't believe I forgot this. You go into your settings. I believe it's account settings. Actually, no, it's not. You go into your calendar connection, and you definitely want it to check your Google Calendar for conflicts. This is really the whole meat and potatoes of Calendly. It basically means that anything you put on your Google Calendars, Calendly is going to recognize as you're busy. And it's also going to use that 30-minute buffer plus the parameters that you set. And it's just going to create this scenario where clients can click something that's 9 times out of 10 going to be something that you can make. And you will confirm that meeting as part of our new process, and I'll talk you guys through that for the orientation. But for this, you could just select all your calendars. I wouldn't select holidays and contacts, but I did 3 different calendars, so you can just select all those and hit Save Changes. And now it's going to use everything you input on those 3 calendars. So in here, there's these 3 basic calendars. You probably have a bunch. For me, I only use one calendar for my life. I have a bunch of other calendars to notify me of things, but I use one specific calendar. Actually, Shelly and I have to use it together, so it says Tyler and Shelly's calendar. That's the only one I have it checked with, because that's the only calendar that I use for everything. You might be a little bit more specific, so just make sure you check the calendars that apply to your life so that you're not missing anything. Again, that's how you set up a Calendly account, and it is 3:56 on Monday. I have an orientation at 4 o'clock, so talk about getting it done under the gun. All right, talk to you guys soon.